Hello, travelers. It is October 19th, and we're going to do a quick full moon reading. We have the full moon coming up October 24th. If I'm not mistaken, this is going to be a full moon in Taurus. I don't know what degree it will be at, but whatever. Also, I'm going to go ahead and run a special starting today, and it will end at midnight Monday morning or Sunday night, okay? And that will be the 20 for 20 special. That's typically a one question reading. It's $5 off, so the price is going to be $15.76. And then I'm going to also give you a 30-minute special. It is $10 off. That price is going to be $26.06. Typically, when I run, when I do specials, I kind of book out fast. You can also pay with Stripe now, for those of you who may be interested and don't, whatever. So there's PayPal and there's Stripe. If you are interested, you can click on the little I, which is the information. Click on that, and that'll take you directly over to the website, and those specials will be up and running. Go to the main menu and look under tarot readings, okay? And that's where you will find them. Again, keep in mind, it's going to start today, and then at midnight Sunday, it's a done deal. So with that being said, we're going to just pull the cards here and see what they have to say. We will be clarifying with La Vida Sibila, and we will pull either an angel answer or a romance angel. I might even pull two, just depending on what the cards have to say. Sometimes the cards speak about everyday life situations, and at the same time speak about romance. It just depends on what messages they want to bring forth. So somebody, Karina, you can expect your reading sometime later today. And then Drina, I want to welcome you as a new member to the website. I will be getting you your three charts, and if you have any questions whatsoever, just simply hit me up on the support desk ticket. Sakina, I sent you a link to the Slack app, so please check your spam folder if you did not receive it. That is a free app. I don't know if you're able to download it. For others of you, the Slack app is where I'll put that, I got to find the link to where, but it's a free group and it's a discussion group. So we discuss astrology, tarot cards, the metaphysical, conjure work. So far I have a few people who have joined, and we've been having some pretty good discussions. I don't do readings. I'm not there to interpret a reading that you do for yourself. But if you just have some questions about, things that are happening for you or things that you've been noticing, and, it's a safe place to come discuss things. And so I'll put that link up at the end of the video if you'd like to come over and join. Like I said, it's a free group. So with that being said, I have so many changes happening in my life, but things are happening absolutely for the better. And it's been quite surprising and very pleasing. I had a lady, over 30 years ago, when I lived in Spain. She read my palm, and she told me that near the latter years of my life, I would develop a lot of wealth. Now, let's make no mistake. Money and wealth, finances and wealth are two different things. Wealth is the idea that you have a bounty of good things in your life. Your health is good. Your children are good. Your family is good. Your financial health and status is good. Your friendships are good. Life is just generally good for you. And as we know, these things do go in cycles. But lately, it's just one good thing after another has been happening for me, and I'm just trying to ride the wave. Okay. In addition, before we lay the cards, do be aware that we are in the pre-shadow Mercury retrograde phase. Mercury will be retrograding in the sign of Sagittarius. Mercury rules short distance travel, communication. So this is the written word, the spoken word, telephones, emails, faxes, text messages. Falling in the sign of Sagittarius, this deals with foreigners, okay? And the foreigners are not necessarily people who live overseas. This can be someone who is quote unquote foreign to you in the sense that they are a different race or religion of an economic or socio background. It rules the internet, imports and exports. Sagittarius does. It rules the law, both secular and karmic. It rules religion, philosophy. So this is agnosticism, atheism, tarot cards, astrology, mediums and psychics, whatever your belief system is. And it rules post-secondary education, higher education. And this is not necessarily speaking about a college degree. This is the idea of travel in the mind, of extending out, learning about something that extends your horizons, okay? So with that being said, there's typically a 6 to 8 week period. There's 2 weeks before the retrograde. Then we have the actual retrograde cycle. And then we have the post 2 week Mercury retrograde phase. And so Mercury, when it goes retrograde, you can expect that there are going to be confusing communications. There are going to be dropped phone calls, lost text messages, lost emails, things not working right, electronic gadgets. Your car might break down. Your trip may be canceled. There may be bad or foul weather. It can, and so typically during any retrograde phase, no matter what planet goes into retrograde, this is a time for you to rework, redo, revise, retweak, whatever it is, reevaluate, reassess something that you may have been working on. Now, we've had this 2 week window of the new moon where you might be starting or have started a new project, but now things are going to kind of slow down, in which case that's going to give you an opportunity to either look over the thing that you've been working on, or typically what works for me is I will have some other stuff that I started and I had to put on the back burner. That will be the time, that 3 week retrograde phase, that I might pull out those old projects and go back over them to see if I can relaunch them after the post shadow phase. So if you are traveling, try to have a plan B, C, and D backup. Please check all of the terms and conditions on rental cars, hotel bookings, plane tickets, whether or not you're using points to travel on. We are coming up on the holiday season, so some of you may be trying to go ahead and buy tickets to travel to see your family for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Do take into account that there could be foul weather, delays, and plane cancellations. For those of you who may be signing some new type of business or financial agreements, please check over the fine print on that. Get a second set of eyes to look over things. You may miss something. Do expect that if you sign something that it may stall out. The terms and conditions may change, or it may be taken away altogether. I mean, there are many, many possibilities. It's going to depend on what you have going on in your life at that particular time. I've even seen Mercury and Sagittarius show up where, particularly retrograde, where you've signed up for an online class or some type of local networking thing. Let's say class, you wanted to learn, I don't know, about Reiki. And you find out that there's an instructor that you've been wanting to take classes with is going to be giving those classes, and then you sign up online for it, and then all of a sudden you find out when you get there that the instructor wasn't able to make it, and now there's somebody else there. Okay, so it's simply those kinds of things. Mercury can be a nuisance more than anything else, but if you will take heed of the energy, pay attention to all of the things that I just told you, you should be able to kind of successfully navigate this. It won't be stress-free or aggravation-free, but when you know that these kinds of things can occur, and you can kind of maybe hedge your bets, or simply decide to back off, do something else for a minute, and then go back to whatever it was you were doing. It can save you a lot of time and effort. So with that said, let's go ahead and lay 9 cards. I hope I've explained that in a clear manner for you. If you have any questions, you can hit me up on the support desk ticket. It's really good if you would join the website, because even if you buy the 30-day membership, you still get all of the benefits of the people who get the yearly membership. And so there's tons of information on the website, just tons. Okay. The Hanged Man. Well, here we are. First card out, and I will show you these. 4 of Coins and the Knight of Pentacles. Well, isn't that something? 10 of Wands, 7 of Cups, the 6 of Swords. There's definite movement here. Definite movement. I don't know if some of you have been trying to buy a home and you've been waiting to hear back about either about the property or the offer that you have put forth. 3 of Swords. There is the Queen of Swords. And then here is the Ace of Wands. I also feel as though, sticking with the theme of buying property, maybe it was land, maybe it was a condominium. This is what Taurus rules, right? Taurus rules your personal possessions. These are not, and finances and monies. These are not the finances and the monies that you get from a marriage or a partnership. And it is also not the monies that you are making, in a sense, from your employer. It is the money that you have, let's say, maybe left over from your paycheck, in which you have purchased things for yourself. So this is about your personal ownership of things. So your movable possessions, jewelry, cars, clothes, shoes, furnishings, your house, your apartment, your townhome, the land that you own, even if you live in a mobile home. This is about your own personal bank account, your 401ks. It covers all that you owe, earn, or borrow. So this is going to be your mortgage payments, your credit card debt, the bills that you have to pay every month. But it also rules your values and your value systems. Okay. What is that thing worth to you? Is it worth the aggravation and the headache? Or has it really become so quote unquote unaffordable that you need to get rid of it? Okay, so what is it worth to you? There really are some people and things and situations that are more precious than gold, and then there are some things that just ain't worth it. That old saying, not all money is good money, right? And not necessarily about money and finances. Resources also include the energy and the time you have to invest into something. Okay, y'all know me. I'm so anal about my time. It's ridiculous. But that is my most valuable resource, because it always appears that there's never enough time, right? So that is my most valuable resource. So is it worth what you are putting into it, the time, the effort, the energy, the thought, whatever it is you've got to do? Is that really worth it any longer? All right. Now, wow. Here, over the reading, we have the Fool card. The Fool card represents the sign of Uranus. And Uranus, the planet. We know that we have a 7-year transit of Uranus in Taurus. He moved into the sign of Taurus back in May. He only got up to 2 degrees direct before he stopped and turned around, and now he's headed back into the sign of Aries. So if you guys can remember what the last 7 years have been like for you, I dare say for some of you, some of those old things are going to be coming back. Aries rules, it is the house of self. It rules the ego, but it also rules in the real world, using the 0 Aries chart. It rules your name, your face, your shape, your brand, your reputation. So this is about business cards, LinkedIn profiles, Facebook pages, Instagram, whatever those apps are that you are using to put your name and your face and your shape out there. But again, the question becomes, is the outside more valuable than the inside? For some of you, this could be the idea that maybe you've been wanting to have, I don't know, plastic surgery. Maybe you wanted to get a boob job. Maybe you wanted to get a boob reduction. Maybe you wanted to get your nose done or your lips plumped up. I don't know. Maybe you want to get extensions. I would dare say that underneath this, and we also have a Venus retrograde. And Venus retrograde typically is you will end up buying something and then all of a sudden it either isn't what you want or it completely doesn't give you the feeling that you thought it would, right? So this is why we tell people to hold off on making purchases under any type of retrograde, really, but particularly with Mercury and or Venus. Mercury retrograde, you can buy a brand new computer, get it home, and it'll work for 3 days and suddenly it doesn't work anymore. Well, what's the warranty on it? Is it completely fried? Can you get another one? How soon can you get it? Is it really going to be worth it? So this is the idea that there are some things happening, and I do feel for some of you, you have waited and struggled for a long, long time on whatever this thing is, and really it just did not, you weren't pleased with it. Okay, the Three of Swords is not always the card of heartbreak, and it just can speak about disappointment, extreme disappointment in something. I have only the one major arcana card, and because this is the ruler of Neptune, it represents Neptune, and Neptune is the ruler of the moon. Neptune is very, very nebulous. He is very dreamlike. There's a lot of fantasy surrounding Neptune. It is about the dissolving of borders. It is about not knowing what's true and what is not true. Is this real or is this an illusion? Is this an illusion or is it a delusion? Is this just me or is it somebody or the situation that I'm in? I can't get a clear picture of what it is. And Neptune is a difficult energy because it gives this energy of sacrifice and martyrdom, of melding with other people or experiencing something that is greater than yourself, but you really don't have any clarity on it. And that's where you can get in trouble. And I see here for some of you, this has already occurred and will be occurring. There's a lot of confusion around this. This card tells me, yes, there is a lot of confusion. But the truth of the situation is, okay, that you yourself put yourself in that position. So to me, this Fool card is about the idea of getting a brand new start, a brand new opportunity. And for some of you, this can be through travel, but simply just the idea that suddenly the sun has come out. But for others of you, it really is the idea that you are being foolish or have been foolish or will be foolish coming up in the center. You're walking into something blindly with your eyes closed. Okay. This is a general reading and these messages will not resonate with everyone. And I do see that for some of you, you have been waiting around and hanging on to something and hanging on to something. Okay. Either you've been hanging on to it because it's something that you really needed to hang on to, or you've been hanging on to something because you don't want to let it go. And this could be the same thing with someone else that you're dealing with. Now I only have one court card. Well, actually I have two court cards here. That is the air sign of Libra. So this would be an air sign female, whether Gemini, Libra, and or Aquarius. She's also the ruler of Venus. And then we have this Knight of Coins, and this would be an earth sign individual, Taurus, Capricorn, and or Virgo. And this is a roundabout way, I do feel, of talking to me about the full moon coming up in Taurus, but also that idea of Venus being in retrograde, okay, and Mercury going in retrograde. So I want you to be cautious as you move through this particular, I don't have any repeater numbers here. I feel that for some of you, you waited long enough and you just decided, okay, look, I think some news or an opportunity has come in and you are struggling to, or have been struggling to, just kind of keep your head down, put your nose to the grindstone, even though you really don't know perhaps what you're doing, or you feel you don't know what you're doing, or You're not exactly sure if what you're doing is actually what you should be doing. That's a common thing for us. We finally see that for some of you, you do get an opportunity to move away from this, okay? This confusion here, this non-clarity here. But in doing so, we are faced with the truth that we have to leave something behind, okay? And I feel that for some of you, you have turned your back on that. You have recognized the truth of the situation. You have come to the conclusion and the understanding that it's not necessarily you are leaving this thing behind because you just kind of fed up with it. It's just that you're leaving it behind because you can no longer tolerate the non-clarity of the situation, right? Remember, you find yourself in this situation because this is where you placed yourself, okay? Nobody put the hangman there, all right, but him. He's the one who climbed up on this. Now, on the off chance for some of you, this might be the idea that you've been dealing perhaps with a health issue of some sort, lower back issue, leg issue, maybe migraine headaches, vertigo, some kind of maybe long injury, but nobody's been able to tell you exactly what it comes from. You haven't been able to get any clarity on why this has happened to you or why you're experiencing this particular pain. And so you're being asked to look at this in a different way. And I experienced that myself last year with Hurricane Harvey. I fell off the back porch. I fractured my foot. And I was not mobile for the longest time. And so I am staunchly, fiercely independent. I don't ask people for help. And that, in an extent to itself, is a bit of a fault. But it's just this whole idea of I don't ever want to owe anybody anything. And that's a past life issue. I struggle with it all the time. But it really humbled me in the sense that I wasn't able to do the things that I normally did. And I wasn't able to do it at the speed that I normally did. And so I had to rely on other people. And so sometimes when the universe wants to teach you a lesson, it will do weird things like that, right? It changed my view on it a little bit. I still struggle with that fear underneath of having to owe people something. You know, it's not based in reality. You know, not everybody wants something from you when they help you. But that's just an old past life issue that I'm dealing with. And it's something I've been struggling with my whole life. And so it could be for some of you one of those situations. Now, here on the future vertical column, this Knight of Pentacles, Six of Swords, and the Ace of Wands. This is a very slow moving. This is the slowest knight of the deck, okay? He's not like the Knight of Wands. He's not like the Knight of Swords. This person is, or this energy is something that is sure, it is solid, it is stable, it is built upon time-tested, true things, research, the ability to just forge ahead. So I always like to see the Knight of Pentacles when he shows up because he does bring good news, okay? For many of you, the thing is, am I going to have to struggle a little bit more? Yes, you will. But look, it immediately goes from a 10 to a 1. So this tells me that for those of you who have felt stuck in a place and or this Mercury retrograde may stick you out, just stay focused. The positive thing about the Seven of Cups is that if you can identify what is the most important thing, okay, then you positively can get all of these other things. But you got to get that one thing in place first. And for some of you, you have no idea what that is. Okay. I'm going to take a look to see what any of these cards may mean as they relate to this Hanged Man. I cannot look at the two court cards, but all of these other pip cards, and those are the numbered cards for those of you who are not familiar with reading tarot. I'm going to show you the cards. There's the Hanged Man. Here's our pip card of the Four of Coins, and this represents the physical plane. So I do feel that many of you just feel like you cannot get ahead. Okay, you're moving ahead slowly. It's such a struggle for you, and you don't know what to do. I feel that some of you may feel like giving up. And then some of you come to the realization that you are going to have to leave something behind. And so in one respect, you are leaving this behind, but you're also sailing into the idea of the heartbreak and the disappointment that's going to bring you. But again, it's a moment in time. Okay. So let me, I gave you the Four of Pentacles. Here is the Knight of Pentacles. Here is the Ten of Wands. And the reason why I kept bringing up that house and that property is because there's that house in the distance. And so this could be, I don't think this is necessarily a contractual issue. I just think maybe it's like a struggle, like maybe you haven't been able to move forward on this. Not because there's something wrong with the paperwork. It's just that there's something else there that you're struggling with. And maybe this is what the Seven of Cups is telling us. This is, you saw the Seven of Cups there? Here is the Six of Coins. I'm sorry, Six of Swords. That card can also mean journey over water, by water, near water, but also travel in the mind, so to speak. Psychologically moving away from whatever this confusing issue is. Sometimes this is the idea that somebody comes into your life to help move you through this, but sometimes this man to me will show up like the universe, showing up to kind of move you along this. Will it be some loss and heartache? Yes, of course it will. But the truth of this will come to you. And this card speaks to partnerships. This is the Libra card. And Libra rules legalities, divorces, separations, marriages, friendships, familial relationships. It is the house of contracts. So in one sense, there is perhaps for some of you a contractual issue here, but the situation surrounding it is kind of bizarre and strange. It doesn't fall into the normal category of, oh, well, they lost the paperwork, or I didn't fill it out right, or the qualifications wasn't right. There's something else very, very weird about it. That's what I'm picking up. So let me take a look and to see what these cards can show. So we'll be looking at the Four of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands, Seven of Cups, Six of Swords, Three of Swords, and the Ace of Wands here as they relate to this Hanged Man. Okay, so here we go. Okay, there's nothing about the Four of Pentacles. Let's jump over to the Ten of Wands, shall we? My phone needs to be cleaned. It is lagging so bad. I have so much stuff on here. Okay, listen. Here's the overarching energy, the Fool. The Ten of Wands with the Fool is telling you to look carefully at a situation as you may have misjudged or miscalculated a situation that needs to be reconsidered or corrected before it is able to come to positive fruition. That's what this is. Some of you really just kind of, I think, jumped at this opportunity or accepted it. And now you're like, what the hell have I gotten myself into? Can I even get myself out of it? Yeah, but it's going to take some work. And it's not going to be easy. Let's take a look at the Seven of Cups. But you will. So, you know, don't panic. Seven of Cups here. Nothing about the Seven of Cups. Six of Swords. And then we'll look at the Three of Swords. And then we're going to look at this Ace of Wands. Okay. And then we're going to pull Sibilas on this. And what's the focus is this, for some of you, this Seven of... That's the focus of the reading. So let's try to get to... See if we can get a bit more information out of that. With the Ten of Swords, I'm sorry, with the 10, any 10 before or after, and there's our 10 of Wands, is an indication of travel, a journey, a vacation or holiday, or even a change of residence. It may involve a major decision which will ultimately lead to movement of some kind. Remember, I said that. But it is telling you to look carefully at all aspects of the situation, as there may be some hidden traps or pitfalls. So to watch out for unnecessary expenditures. Remember, this is what I'm telling you. Some of you just not going to do it. Okay? And, you know, that's a choice. Whatever situation you find yourself in, remember, you're not going to have anybody to blame but yourself. So, and a lot of times that's, you know, well, I listen to somebody else. Well, okay. Do your research. Remember, I'm telling you that. Get a second set of eyes. Talk to somebody skilled and knowledgeable in whatever it is you're trying to do. Just jumping in, you know, can sometimes lead to problems. Nothing about the Three of Swords. Sometimes she can show up as a mediator, this Queen of Swords, having to actually mediate something out to resolve it so that you can move on. Here is the Ace of... Oh, I ain't trying to call nobody. Ace of Wands. Where is it? Tells me nothing. Now, let's go, and I don't have any repeater numbers. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly pull cards on this Seven of Cups here. And then I think that some of you are going to kind of feel as though if you turn down an offer, you're going to lament that. It's like you're going to regret it. But typically whenever I see, particularly with this, it kind of says that, you know, that's a false feeling because the truth of this situation has not been revealed to you yet. There's no clarity. There it is, a trip or visit. The La Namika. This is the woman who acts in secret. She's a rival. And the Lecherezza. Now, interesting to me. This is something being revisited, is what my guides are telling me. They're saying that there is an issue that will be coming back around. Something that you're going to be dealing with either the La Namika, someone who is against you. That's the House of Libra. Over the first house. So this could be a business rival. Someone who is very jealous of you. Maybe this is someone that you've done business with in the past. They're going to be coming back around. And what we have is this Lecherezza. Now this is the Lecherezza is the idea of diplomacy and tact, or lightness of being. That's what this card is about. Okay? It is about, that's what Libra is about. It's about the fairness of a situation. It's about tact, harmony, and balance, and fairness. In order to be in partnership or cooperation with people, it requires a level of communications and skill, how to handle people, right? For some of you, this may involve a trip. I want to look at, let me look at this Queen of Swords to see if she can give me a bit more information. As a profession, She will typically be a writer, a doctor, a dentist, could be a chef. She could be an editor, someplace or some type of work, a scientist. The kind of work in which if there are not weapons of defense, so swords and guns and knives being used, then it is the idea that this person uses logic and reason, okay, and can be very formidable. Allegrezza al cuore, the happiness of the heart. The sospiri, waiting for the ship to come in, the sign, the longing, the waiting. Ah, well. And the dispiacere. Now, this is on the off chance that you may be dealing with the idea of a third party coming into this particular situation and just screwing crap up. You see they've got 3 people there. So this could be, you know, a side chick, or maybe you've been in a relationship and you've been the side chick. This tells me that you know the individual, that you have dealt with them before. This is also telling me that this situation coming back around, this could be the idea that something that's been hidden from you will come to light, and then you're going to have to change the way that you think about this person. Maybe you thought this person was your friend, and then you find out that they aren't. Backbiters and haters. Happens all the time. And then you're going to find out, we see this happiness, and you're waiting for something. But for some of you, the truth is you're going to have to walk away from it. Okay? You're going to be disappointed. If you're putting your trust and your faith, which is what these 2 cards speak to, if you're putting your trust and your faith in somebody and you're not double checking or paying attention to what your intuition is telling you, and you're not looking at this from a different way, it's foolish. Okay? And that's what the cards are telling me. So let's quickly pull an angel answer card. That's what we're going to do. So formulate your question. And because we're under a retrograde, this situation is expected to stall, start, stop, go backwards, go around in circles. Then you don't hear nothing. Then it'll crop up again. Over the next 6 to 8 weeks. 1 card, here we go. Ask for help from others. Isn't that funny? Wasn't I just saying that? I think some of you may have bitten off a bit more than you can chew, or you are really unprepared for either the situation as it is developing, has already developed, and or will be developing. Your angels are always with you. However, you must ask for their assistance in order for them to provide you with the help you are seeking, because heaven respects your free will choices. State your questions to your angels clearly. No, that's ask from the angels. Hold on. Ask for help from others. Here we go. It is not necessary to do everything on your own. Your angels are asking you to reach out to those around you for assistance. By allowing others to lend a hand, you greatly increase your chances for success, and your plans will begin to move forward. The help you receive may also include important information provided by knowledgeable individuals. The stress of doing too much can create both physical and emotional health challenges for you. So surround yourself with loving friends and family who are willing and able to lighten your load, and you'll begin to feel much better. And I will say that Viaggio l'Animica and the Lecheretta could be the idea that somebody that you can't stand, y'all ain't never got along, could be the person who's going to come in and help you. So it's going to depend on how you look at it and what you got going on. So with that being said, I hope those messages helped. Again, the 20 for 20 is on sale for $15.06. I think that's right. And no, $15.76, so that's $5 off. That's typically a 1-question reading. And then the 30-minute reading is usually 1 to 2 questions. And that is $10 off, $26.06. You can pay with PayPal, you can pay with Stripe, and that's going to be ending Sunday night at midnight. So I hope those messages helped. And until next time, namaste. Again, you can click the eye and that'll take you, where is it? Right over there. And you'll be able to go directly to the website. Namaste.